All right, welcome back to another After Dark, everyone. Hope you all are having a good night so far. Hope you guys had a wonderful day. So I had a super thanks request to check out this video here. And this one is going to be titled, This Is Not the Same Knueppel. Apologies, I don't know how to properly say his name yet. I got to be fully transparent. Out of the rookies that come out this year, the only one that's really been on my radar has been, what the hell's his name? Cooper Flag. And I know this is the other guy up there, basically, for Rookie of the Year. So either way, go ahead and make fun of me in the comments for not knowing if you want. I don't care. I'm here to learn, so I'm going to learn all about this guy and also learn how to pronounce his name properly. Because when I got this request, I looked up his stats, and I'm actually kind of impressed for a rookie. So I'm curious to see what this looks like, and yeah, let's do this, guys. First of all, thank you for the request. Thank you for the tip. I really appreciate it. And I say let's get right into this. We're gonna link the original video down below. Let's see. This is from a channel called Hoop Dungeon, and yeah, video is gonna be down below in the description, like I do every video. You also see a list of channel members. Shout out to you guys. I really appreciate you. I want to learn. So let's learn. Guys, like the video if you could. I'd appreciate it. And let's do this.
Telling young players exactly who they're allowed to be. Not with words, but with...
Hold on.
NBA scouts have a way of telling young players exactly who they're allowed to be. Not with words, but with labels. Glue guy, connector, elite role player, perfect fit next to a real star. And for Knueppel, those labels...
Knueppel. I do know this name. Yeah, I just didn't know that's how it's spelled. Knueppel.
Felt permanent the moment people started watching him at Duke. Because he wasn't the loudest player, he wasn't an explosive athlete, and his highlight tape wasn't nearly as appealing as other star prospects of his class. He wasn't locking stars down, he wasn't taking 30 shots a game, he wasn't putting centers on a poster, you know what I'm saying. But he played like something else.
He looks
like
kind of short. How tall is this
player
guy?
Who already had figured out the NBA game without even playing a single second of pro ball. Quick decisions, clean reads, timing, efficiency, shooting threat, and spacing. Khan was elite at everything that creates winning plays at Duke. With him on the court, the Blue Devils were the best offense in the entire ACC with a 133 offensive rating. And yeah, that includes Cooper Flag, who had just a 126. Now the funny thing is, people saw all of that and still somehow missed the point. Because this NBA version of Knueppel wasn't supposed to exist, at least not this early. Absolutely no one expected him to be the turning point of a dysfunctional franchise.
Hey, I mean, yeah, okay, now that it's coming together, I didn't realize he might be part of the reason why this whole franchise turned around this year. Very interesting.
From day one. This is not the same Knueppel we've seen at Duke. This NBA version of Khan looks like a future star in the league. And to understand what's happened and understand how Khan has destroyed every scouting report available, we have to go back to where this narrative started. When Knueppel committed to Duke in September 2023, he made some headlines. I mean, the kid wasn't some rando coming out of Wisconsin. He was comfortably established as a top 50, even a top 25 prospect in his class. And I'm gonna be honest, he wasn't even supposed to be number 2 at Duke, because Isaiah Evans was supposed to be that guy. So at Duke, the plan was clear. The hierarchy was clear. Cooper Flag was the headline, the system revolved around him, and the hype and attention followed him everywhere. It was deserved though, as Coop was killing the USA Olympic team during the summer before his freshman year.
Wait, how did both Coop and Khan come out of Duke? How did that happen?
But in that environment, Knueppel did become the perfect second piece. Not the guy making the headlines, as Cooper Flag was that guy. And he wasn't the guy that got the media buzzing after every game. But believe me, Knueppel became the guy you trust, the guy who makes the right play.
I wonder, what number was he drafted? I've got so many questions now.
The guy who keeps the offense organized when everything starts to go wrong. How? Well, not only by spacing the floor, he did it by punishing defensive mistakes. See, in basketball, there are two types of players. The one that can generate advantages, or in other words, create defensive mistakes, and the one that's able to punish those mistakes, to make the right read every time to find that advantage. Khan at Duke was the second type of player, the one that didn't force the issue.
I mean, all these highlights from Duke, he's looking pretty damn aggressive.
But because he wasn't forcing the issue, people assumed he couldn't. And yep, that's the trap.
Okay.
Basketball fans have this habit of believing that if you're not demanding touches, you must not deserve them. At Duke, Khan didn't need to be the first option to excel.
Okay, I'm starting to get the picture. So he was a second option and he played the second option great. So people thought he was just a second wheel, but now he's the first option and he's blowing people's minds. I'm with it. Okay.
To be, like I said, the best offense in the entire ACC. But that doesn't mean he couldn't become that guy. While the story was being written for him anyway, Khan knew exactly he only had to wait for his chance. Here's the part that matters. There are players who are designed to dominate college basketball.
Yeah.
They live off chaos, off their athletic privilege, off being stronger, quicker, longer than everyone else on the floor. We have dozens of examples like this every college season.
For sure.
The thing is, this kind of player can afford
Adam Morrison, Christian Laettner off the top of my head.
To take bad shots and survive, because the gap is massive. This kind of player usually excels in college defense, where zones are heavily used, and this length becomes an incredible advantage. But let's be honest, the NBA isn't like that. I love how JJ described this. If you're in the NBA, you are a 99th percentile athlete in the entire world. Compared to the average person, you are a superhuman. You don't even look like the same species. In the NBA, everyone, and everyone includes Pat Spencer, is a top-tier athlete.
Hey, that dude plays tough. I like him.
Everyone is fast, everyone is strong, and the game punishes your mistakes immediately if you're not built like you need to be. In summary, what really translates to the NBA isn't the chaos these college-dominant players generate. What really translates at an NBA level is actually the clarity you're able to provide. The game is transforming right before our eyes, and while the NBA is starting to require elite IQ over elite athleticism, college basketball is not evolving at the same rate. It doesn't matter if you're gifted and have an enormous jumping reach if you're not able to understand when you have to help on defense. It doesn't matter if you can jump out of the gym if you're not able to kick the ball when you're driving. And that's
why am I getting like Mark Price vibes here?
Knueppel has always been different. He doesn't make winning plays either on offense or defense by running faster or jumping higher than you. He makes those winning plays by arriving early, by beating you to the spot, by finding the best angles to exploit. He plays 4D chess in every play to outsmart his matchup, and man, he is crazy good at it. But that's exactly why, ironically, his game almost looks too calm for college. Because while most college coaches will reward aggression and intensity, NBA coaches usually reward precision and good execution. Or at least if you're looking for something more than a role player. That's what people missed when they watched him at Duke. They measured him by what he wasn't instead of what he already was. And speaking of how great Knueppel's been, I was absolutely locked into the Hornets game versus the Rockets the other night. And this is actually a perfect example of how I trade games live on Polymarket. Because if you understand the entire landscape of a game, the market gives you free opportunities. Let me show you what I mean.
Oh man, well what a segue into a gambling app. Or a
I
gambling
opened up Polymarket in the middle of the first half and saw the Hornets sitting as underdogs at just 45% to win the game. even with a slight lead. With the Hornets coming off a long All-Star break and a lot of their young guys well rested, I knew this could be a good opportunity to take them against a Rockets team recovering from the rumored KD files. I also noticed that Khan wasn't playing as aggressive as he usually does early on, and I knew if the Hornets wanted to stay in this game, he had to take over. Khan currently leads all rookies in total points this season.
Wow, that's a close race between him and Coop.
And even leads the entire NBA in three-pointers made.
What? Why'd you show this? The stat's not here. Wait, oh shit, what an idiot I am. it's the highlighted one. Donovan Mitchell, Maxey, Curry. I don't know if, I mean, that's cool, but I don't know if that's a good sign. I don't think he should be bombing that many threes in his athletic prime. So it's the only negative I can say. I know it's spun as a positive, but I don't know about that. What do you guys think?
As a rookie. He's having an unbelievable rookie year, but if he wants to keep up with college teammate Cooper Flagg for the Rookie of the Year award, he needs to kick off his post-All-Star break stretch with a good game. And as I predicted, the Hornets kept the game close, and by the end of the third quarter, the odds jumped all the way up to 64%. And that was my move, because right there at the end of the third quarter, I sold the position.
Yeah.
That's the biggest advantage of Polymarket.
Yeah, buy the dip, sell the rip.
Not locked into a bet praying it hits. On a sportsbook, once you place the bet, you're stuck until the final buzzer. On Polymarket, you have flexibility, and it worked to my advantage because the Hornets...
Yeah, I'm not going to advocate for gambling, but I'll tell you, the couple of times that I did what was it, like Kalshi, I think it was. A couple of times with those games, I did cash out early. Yeah, so that was one of those things. Like 2 minutes left in the game, and I'm gonna get 90% of my payout. I'm like, yeah, good enough. Who knows what's gonna happen in the last minute?
Blew their lead in the fourth quarter. You're trading on momentum, reacting to information, buying and selling positions in real time.
Yeah, it's like FOMO in real time. It's weird.
Polymarket lets you.
I can see how it's very dangerous.
On that edge during the game.
And I know he's advocating for gambling right now, and I'm advocating against gambling, so I'm never going to get it's not like I wanted to, but I'll definitely never get a sponsorship from a gambling app. Kalshi, damn, my bad, but I got to be honest.
That's why I use it. Stop letting sportsbooks steal your money. Download Polymarket now using the link in the description.
I hate to say it, but if I'm downloading the app, I'm probably gonna give money to the gambling app. So isn't that how we get the gambling app to steal our money? Is by downloading the app? Anyways, shit.
Now, fast forward to Charlotte. The Hornets had been dysfunctional for years. They hadn't won a playoff series since 2002. Michael Jordan sold the team, and the new management was still looking for a way to revive a dead franchise. Good thing, they may not need to look for it anymore.
Yeah, it looks like they're off to a good start without Jordan, I gotta admit it.
Khan was still considered a connector before his NBA debut, but suddenly, the season starts and Knueppel isn't standing next to a clear number one all the time. Suddenly, there are nights where the offense needs someone to settle it down, and Khan takes full advantage of exactly that, playing elite basketball with unprecedented consistency for a rookie. See, as soon as Charles Lee starts giving him responsibility, Knueppel starts making possessions feel easy. And boy, let me tell you, that's the most dangerous kind of player. Because when a guy makes the game look simple, you don't notice him until it's too late.
Yeah.
And in the modern NBA, that's extremely rare for a 20-year-old. This is where the Duke narrative
I think to that example, I think Tim Duncan is a great example of that. The game looks easy, so it's hard to appreciate it, yet we should. Jokic is another guy I see where the game just comes so fluently to him.
Starts to collapse, because being a second option in college can mean two different things. Maybe you're unable to run an offense, to carry a team that's competing against elite D1 athletes. A lot of kids feel the heat exactly at this point after dominating in high school, or maybe the team just doesn't need you to. When you're playing alongside a potential generational player, you have to step aside. You have have to let him cook because he's destined to. And don't get me wrong, that was the right decision. Duke was an unstoppable team last season all the way until the semifinals. And Cooper is proving his worth in Dallas.
Absolutely.
Having an incredible rookie season too. But maybe...
I mean, it is crazy to think of these two guys on the same team kicking ass at Duke.
Only maybe if Knueppel was the first option of a top-tier D1 college, the draft would have looked different.
When did he get drafted?
Because Knueppel, he doesn't look like an NBA rookie.
Tell me when he got drafted.
And this is the core of the whole story. His game isn't built on rookie things. He looks already coached. He looks like a real NBA vet with enough experience to maintain elite efficiency and decision making. And the stats, man, his stats are absolutely crazy. Khan currently ranks 3rd in the Hornets in EPM, one of the most precise and respected metrics in the whole analytics game, a stat that usually never treats rookies well, yet he's ranking ahead of all-stars like Jaylen Brown and Alperen Şengün.
I looked it up myself because I've been curious. So he was drafted 4th overall. Wow, so the 1st and the 4th overall pick came out of the same team. Wow, okay.
Only that, but the 2 players ahead of him on the Hornets roster, LaMelo Ball and Brandon Miller, have missed a good chunk of games. But nothing makes a bigger impact stats-wise than winning. The Hornets are finally looking like a playoff team since the month of January. They won 9 straight games before the All-Star break, and now they're looking to take one of the play-in spots.
I mean, they're playing so good, KD wants to go play for him.
Eastern Conference.
Not even a joke. It's not even a punchline. It's real.
Their core is still super young, and it will get even better when they gain even more chemistry together. However, the reality is clear. The main difference between last season Hornets and current season Hornets is Knueppel, the guy that was drafted and instantly made everything work for a team that desperately needed someone like him. In the end, I don't blame scouts. Why? Because the word potential is usually confused with raw athleticism. You can't be a star on the next level if you aren't able to blow by, drive, or finish like a monster. You can't be a star if you can't even dominate your matchup defensively, which usually requires elite physical ability. But
I guess you never heard of a guy named Nikola Jokic.
Not the reality anymore. As I said before, the game has changed. We have a lot of instances of superstars that don't dominate with athleticism. Luka Doncic and Nikola Jokic are the prime examples.
Okay, I guess you do know.
And scouting reports told exactly the same about them back in the day. That they won't be that good because they aren't that athletically gifted. But Khan falls exactly in this category. Even if his athleticism is not top tier, there are so many aspects of his game that are. His decision making is elite, his scoring ability is elite, his playmaking is elite, and those are aspects you can't replace on an NBA roster. That's why this is not the same Knueppel, because Duke's Knueppel was impacting the game without taking the most important role, without proving what he could really do. He was only leading the team when Cooper was on the bench, but now, as a first option, he's shown why he's already a monster. Now, do you believe in Knueppel as much as I do? Do you think he'll become that perennial all-star player that will rewrite the Charlotte Hornets' history? Or have you seen something about his game that makes these expectations seem impossible? Let us know what you think in the comments. And if you enjoy deep dives into basketball stories like this, the hype, the fallout, and the reality behind it, make sure you like, subscribe, and turn on notifications.
All right, guys, link is down below for the channel in the description. I now know quite a bit more about Knueppel than I did because I knew basically nothing except for the name. I knew the name Knueppel. So, okay. Sounds like a cool prospect, somebody to keep an eye on, and you know, maybe I'll get a rookie card or something while they're cheap and see what he becomes. It is cool when this early in his career to see him be a second option and now a main option. I like that. You know, it takes me back to like Jordan back in North Carolina, because he started out not as the primary option, stayed there long enough to become the primary option, and then took that momentum into the rest of his career. So if you could play, basically, in other words, in modern terms, if you can play off the ball, but you could also play on the ball, that's a great threat. That's a great thing. That's, Now we're talking like, you're in like the Steph Curry kind of category. If you want to play point, you're dangerous. If you want to play shooting guard, you're even more dangerous, and I like that. So, thanks for the suggestion to watch this one. He will be on my radar moving forward, and I don't know why. Like when I see his jump shot, I am really getting like a more athletic version of Mark Price, like in my head every time I'm seeing him. So let me know if I'm crazy. Let me know if you're seeing the same thing. And share what you know down below, because I am always down to learn more about players and stuff that I don't know about. So, and I admit it, he was under my radar, so I was not paying attention to him. And also, I gotta tell you the truth, I haven't paid attention to the Charlotte Hornets in like fucking 10 years, because it's been so miserable to ever watch this team. But I gotta get with the times. It is a new Hornets now. They're actually a good team again. It looks like they got some momentum. So maybe I gotta get with the hype bandwagon and check them out a little bit. Take a break from watching my Suns, Spurs, Denver, and Lakers, and Minnesota, because those have been like the only teams I'm really keeping an eye on these days. Anyways, guys, I am out of here. Thanks for watching, and like the vid on the way out if you could. Subscribe if you want more content like this, and most importantly, it's to be water, my friends. Peace out.